Do you love keto but hate being weak in the gym? I get this a lot from high intensity, very explosive athletes. People who have to sprint, a boxer who has to like explode in, throw a flurry of punches and explode back. Even somebody who just has to rip like an Olympic bar off the ground and just throw it above his head. You don't move in these sports, you explode in these sports. You explode in high intensity, anaerobic, and then you have to recover for the next explosion. And these people tend to do really bad when they're on a ketogenic diet. A lot of them come up to me and say, hey, I love the ketogenic lifestyle. I love the food I'm eating. I love the way I feel, but I just don't have it like I used to when I was eating carbs. Do I have to give up keto or do I have to give up my sport? And the answer is no. You can have the best of both worlds. The fact of the matter is there are different sources of energy. And, ketones are a great source of energy most of the time. Ketos are a great source of energy for people who have an active lifestyle. Hell, even an elite endurance athlete will do better on ketones than when he's burning carbs for fuel. But this does not apply to people who have to be explosive when they're doing their training or their competition. So, there are ways to get around this where you can have the benefits of burning carbohydrates during your workouts, during your competition, but enjoy the ketogenic lifestyle the rest of the day. And the answer to an explosive athlete is the targeted ketogenic diet. Now, there are three types of ketogenic diets. There's the standard ketogenic diet where 24/7, all you take is mostly fat, a little bit of protein, almost no carbs. Then there's the cyclic ketogenic diet where you're in ketogenic style most of the time, but every few days you might have a meal to refeed carbohydrates, or maybe you'll have a day where you refeed during the week. Okay, and the problem that I have with that is imprecise. Okay, if you are just going to be eating, let's say every Saturday you're going to refill your carbs, how do you know how many carbs you're supposed to be taking in? Even an expert, the creator of the anabolic diet, Mario de Pasquale, couldn't tell you exactly how many carbs to take in. He just said, hey, eat carbs, and then we feel like you're spilling over, a little bit bloated, then you stop, okay, and then that's it. So nobody can tell you exactly how much or how little to take in. And the second problem I have with a cyclic ketogenic diet is, let's say you do your carb refeed on Saturday, okay? You have too many carbs in your body on Saturday, and then the rest of the week you're going to have less and less and less and less. So let's say, your workout on Monday is great because you got a bunch of glucose, glycogen in your muscles. But then during the week, you kind of start to slow down. You have a bad workout on Friday because your muscles are flat and you're kind of feeling blah. And then you have the refeed on Saturday, and there you go. You went from Friday having too little carbs in your body to Saturday having too many carbs in your body, okay? So that is, like I said, imprecise. And it's the same thing with everything. If you're into your appearance, like a lot of bodybuilders go on cyclic ketogenic diets, well, if you're having a refeed and you have too many carbs, you're going to have a lot of water weight. It's going to take you maybe 3 days to lose that 5 pounds of water weight you gained, or you're going to look bloated the entire time. And then after that, when you get rid of all the carbs in your body, your muscles are going to look flat again. So, like I said, a targeted ketogenic diet will give you precisely what you need, precisely when you need it, in precisely the right amount. So, how does it work? You call it targeted because what you're doing is you're targeting your intense activity, training or competition. So if you're not going to train on a certain day because it's a rest day, no carbs, there's no need, you just go keto all day. If you are going to be active but not with this really high intensity, then you're probably going to go with a normal ketogenic day as well. Let's just say, an MMA fighter's not going to work out intensely. He's just going to kind of roll on the mats, do a little jiu-jitsu, and just kind of work on some techniques. There's no need for carbs, okay? So that day you're going to be keto. But if you're going to work out intensely, sprinting, sparring, competition, if you're going to be doing plyometrics or interval or high intensity interval training or anything like that where you have to explode, recover, explode again, that's when you take in some carbohydrates, okay? And obviously, you're only going to take in carbohydrates before the workout and after. I'll get into that later, but only right before the workout, because why do you need carbs for the rest of the day? You only need it to fuel and recover from your high intensity training and competition. So, how do you do this? Well, first of all, there are different types of carbs that you can take into your body. Sucrose, which is table sugar, and fructose, which is fruit sugar, tend to go into your liver and raise your liver's glycogen stores. Glycogen being how your body stores carbohydrates. Then there's something called dextrose. Dextrose tends to fill your muscle glycogen, not your liver glycogen. Now, first of all, you obviously want to take something that's going to fill your muscle glycogen because we're doing this for athletic performance. And your muscles are what you need when you're doing the athletic performance. So take something that goes to your muscles. Not just that, but the absolute last place that you want to be putting carbs in your body is in your liver, because your liver is where you produce ketones. So, like I said, why would you want to take in sucrose or fructose, which will go to your liver where you produce ketones, and it will leave your muscles flat, when you can take something that will go straight into your muscles, raise your muscle glycogen stores, and that is called dextrose. Now, another thing is we are only taking this right before and right after our workouts, okay? We want it targeted around our workouts. That means we don't want to be chewing and digesting food. So I hope it's obvious you should be taking this in liquid form. I mean, if you eat something, you got to chew it. Your body has to break it down. I mean, believe it or not, bile is actually a physical part of the digestive process. It grinds the food, okay, physically. So if you just take dextrose powder, mix it with water, and drink it, it's going to go through all of this. You're going to cut out a lot of the digestive process. You're not going to have it break it down. It's going to get absorbed into your blood and go into your muscle glycogen stores very quickly. You want to do this about 30 minutes before a workout or before a competition. Okay. After a workout, first of all, you're going to be depleted. You're not taking in a huge amount of carbohydrates. You're taking in a small amount of carbohydrates, just enough to fuel you through the workout. So by the time you're done working out, you're going to be depleted again. Now, afterwards, it actually makes sense for several different reasons to take in carbohydrates again, once again, in the form of a liquid, in the form of dextrose. Why is this? First of all, it fills up your muscle glycogen, like we said. That's important because it will be there if you need it for your next workout. Okay, like we said, we're not always going to be taking in carbs before a workout, only an intense workout. So by filling up your muscle glycogen stores after a workout, you're ready for your next workout, even if you don't take carbs before. Another thing that's important is if you're interested in appearance, like I said, bodybuilders, it will fill your muscle glycogen stores so you look pumped without being bloated. You'll have the great muscle tone, but you will not be bloated. Now, there's another reason. People talk bad about insulin. Okay, people talk bad about the insulin spike, and it does store fat. But the fact of the matter is, insulin, first of all, is an extremely anabolic substance. It means muscle building substance. When bodybuilders became mass monsters, they didn't just take steroids, they didn't just take growth hormone, they started adding in insulin, and they say, if you talk to a professional bodybuilder, they will say insulin is just incredible in the way it makes you grow. Now, do not, unless you are really sick and have diabetes, take insulin. However, by taking in dextrose after a workout, you get a little bit of an insulin spike, not that much, but a little bit of an insulin spike, enough to get the anabolic effect. And the next thing that's really important about taking in carbs and getting a insulin spike after a workout is, like we said, insulin, a ketogenic diet works great because insulin is a fat storing substance, okay? It causes you to store fat. It causes you to store more stuff than fat, though. So pay attention. What you do after the workout is it will help you recover if you take the dextrose, fill your muscle glycogen stores again, and the dextrose will cause a little bit of an insulin spike that will shuttle nutrients into your muscles. So if you take whey protein also gets a bad rap, but it's the fastest digesting, fastest absorbed protein there is. Whey protein with your dextrose after your workout, it will shuttle that protein right into your muscles where it has to be. You will absorb it quicker and better. And another thing, other supplements. For instance, I suggest everybody who works explosively to take creatine. Okay? Creatine, glutamine for recovery. If you take your whey protein, your creatine, and your glutamine with your dextrose after your workout, you'll get the insulin spike, will be shuttled right into your muscles where you need it. You would have the DOMS, the delayed onset muscle soreness like you used to. You'll recover a lot faster, recover a lot better, and you'll progress a lot more. Now, the question about this is this going to kick me out of ketosis? And the answer is, interestingly enough, yes, but it doesn't matter. If you take in carbohydrates and you have muscle glycogen, yes, you are going to be burning that muscle glycogen instead of ketones for energy, which your body wants. But pay attention now, because there's a big difference between ketosis and fat adaptation. Okay? Ketosis means your body is breaking down fat and producing ketones. Fat adaptation means your body is primarily using fat as the preferred source of energy. So, think of it like this. Just because you take in some carbs and you're out of ketosis, you're not producing ketones, you're not burning ketones because you're burning the glycogen in your muscles from the dextrose, just because you're out of ketosis does not mean that your body's no longer fat adapted. Think of it like this. How long did it take you to get fat adapted in the first place? When you stopped eating carbs, you felt like rubbish, you felt like rubbish, you felt like rubbish, and at some point things changed and your body started burning fat and you felt good eating fat, okay? That was a long process. That wasn't over like 3 minutes, and it's not gonna stop because of 3 minutes either, okay? So, yes, you will be out of ketosis. You will pause ketosis temporarily, and you will be burning carbohydrates instead of ketones for fuel while you have the dextrose in your body, but that does not mean that you are going to be kicking yourself out of ketosis as in no longer fat adapted. Okay? You didn't get fat adapted overnight, and you're not going to get out of fat adaptation overnight either. If you are interested in learning exactly how to create a targeted ketogenic diet that will suit your needs, that will not only fuel your performance of your training, but will also allow you to manipulate your body composition, gaining weight, losing weight, whatever you want to do with your body, then I highly suggest you check out my Anaerobics Diet 3.0. I call it the Anaerobics Diet 3.0 because I did it 3 times. The first time was very, very difficult because it was very, very primitive. I had an idea, tried it, and it was only my dedication to the diet that made it work. The second time, I was 39 years old, right before my 40th birthday. I was extremely overweight and I didn't want to get in shape. I wanted to get ripped to shreds by my 40th birthday. In under 4 months, I lost over 30 pounds of fat and got ripped like I wanted to be on the Anaerobics Diet 2.0. Now, that still was not a perfect diet because since then, I've learned even more and I've brought the 2.0 version up to the 3.0 version. This is hands down the absolute best diet out there for athletic performance and body composition, hands down. And if you purchase the program that I've created explaining the Anaerobics Diet 3.0, you will know precisely how many calories to be taking in, how much fat, how much protein, how much carbs, what kind of carbs, what time, when, what other supplements you should be taking in, what you take when you're having a rest day, what you take when you're having a high intensity day, when to add in more calories, when to add in more protein, more carbs, more fat, exactly how to change and how much to change your diet. If you want to know exactly everything you need to know, then you need to check out my Anaerobics Diet 3.0. I've got a full-length video that explains all of the science behind it, exactly what it does, how it works, and why. Then I have a full-length ebook that will explain to you step by step how to design your diet perfectly for you, your body, your workouts, and your goals. It will tell you exactly how much of what to eat at what time on what day. So if you're interested, definitely look below this video. Check out my Anaerobics Diet 3.0. Otherwise, I hope you learned something. I hope you're at least interested in further researching targeted ketogenic diets. And if you have any questions, just send me an email, bob@oldmanrevolution.com. Good luck with your training.